movements. I'm going to be filming on my phone because I think that's just easier for me. For some reason, I brought the smallest tripod for my camera, and all you're gonna see is the shoes, but I do want to do some other movements. So what we're gonna do is, one, I'm gonna show you how easy or hard it is to put on the shoe, like how it is to put on the shoe. I'm gonna do a walk sequence for you to show you, you know, how easy it is, floor-based work, just show you like how stable and comfortable they can be. And this is just my opinion. I am not the best person to dance in shoes, so I feel like take it how it is. This is just sharing my side. And then I'm just gonna do a climbing demo to show how each pair of shoes perform like when you're climbing, because sometimes depending on the material of the shoe, it can be easier or harder. Then I'm gonna do the invert example, heaviness of the shoe, easier for pointing your toes, you know, just kind of show you that, how it is upside down. And then maybe I'll include some like freestyle stuff to show you like the movement of it. I'll see. And then like how taking it off is. Just very, very simple. But the first heel we're gonna start with, a big bag to go through today. I only think these are all my heels. Hopefully I brought 2 pairs every heel, imagine. I just show you. So the first one we're gonna do are these. I'm gonna do from like tallest to shortest in like leg length. So these are 8 inches knee highs, okay? So they do zip up on the side. So they are easy, you don't have to basically lace it, but when you first get them, you have to lace it to where you fit it. And I find a lot of the times when I'm dancing, I have to go back in and relace because the bending of your knee, because it comes up past your knee. So I do recommend wearing double socks with these because it's a lot. I don't know what it is, but this material, it's not like the inside of it, you can tell, it's not like squishy. Like I do have some shoes that actually have more soft padding. So I just recommend 2 socks. That's what works for me. And I do get them in the exact sizing that I'd wear for like any type of heel or shoes. So I'm a size 7 US. Okay. So I'm gonna warm up and put these on and I will show you. Okay. So I like to keep warmers on for these. And the best things about these heels is that you can wear knee pads on them, like underneath. So I'll show you that. So as you can tell, my knee pads come above my knee. And these are so nice. So when you put them on, I do recommend putting them on the floor to first size it. But because I already done the lacing, what I'm gonna do is just slide my foot in and zip it up. These ones take the longest to put on. I'm gonna rate this a 1 out of 5 of putting these on. Because the problem is, like I said, yeah, you have to go down. The problem is with these ones is that you have to keep the tongue straight and it will move while you're dancing. It's just to cover up based on the adjustment. And I find every time I put them on, as you can tell here, because I'm wearing warmers, you just have to loosen it. So you just loosen it from the top. If you ever want to wear these, please, please put them on at home before you go to a class, because you will be wasting a lot of time while you rather be dancing putting these on. Hence why I'm starting with these, because I know how long these take to put on. Okay, I like to point in my toe where I put them on, because I feel like it kind of pulls against it, and then just go in again, readjust where the tongue is, go like this, and you can see my leg warmers there, and then I just point my toe, because I feel like even if you flex it, it will help pull. There you go. And then you have to put the belts on. So you do go around, and these don't really do much. They're just for aesthetic purposes, I find. So I remember one time I went to wear this for a class, just to do some base work training, and literally I didn't even have one of the belts, and I didn't feel any difference in either shoe. So I really don't find like any proper use for this. This is just literally just an aesthetic thing. I do find around my knee though, because where it bends, there's a belt there. I always want to make it looser and tight, like I said, because it's just for aesthetic purposes. So if you do go bending down, so I always try to bend to see how comfortable it is. Then we adjust, and then it's just tying. So what I like to do is go from the bottom. Usually I start wherever I kind of loosened up and adjusted, because everything else was probably tight. Just pull like this, and then just pull like this. And you'll see it will tighten up. Just as much as you can around your knee if you're doing a lot of like kips or flips, or just going down on your knees for floor work. I find that it will loosen up. So I'm gonna put both on and come back. Okay, I'm still putting on my second shoe. One thing I do want to note is that if you do get a knot in these laces, because of the silk laces, they're very easy to unknot. The laces are really, really long, so double knot them, making sure they don't get underneath your knee tip, because it will untie, and you don't want that to happen if you're performing or recording. If you hear little mouse noises in the background, that's Emily. No, I don't care. So, getting up is pretty easy. So you always want to like hold onto a pole. If not, I would always put your elbow on your knee and go like this, and then up, especially as the walk in, because literally your whole leg is sucked into the boot. And the platform is not heavy at all. You don't feel it when you lift it up. So let me see if you can watch me wobble in my shoes. I'm telling you, I'm the worst walker. For someone who's the worst walker, and I can walk in these, that should tell you a lot. When it comes to inverting and climbing, I wouldn't say these are the best. This is really more floor work or base work. Before it goes a little bit far, so pretty close. With these, because it doesn't have such a great support on your ankle, very flexible, which is good for floor movements. It's just when it comes to climbing, if you want a really pointed toe, you really have to point it. And for this material, Emily, what material would you call this? Leather? Suede? Poly? It's like a plasticky. It's not very like fake leather, so it's not grippy. So when you're climbing, you really have to squeeze your knees. So I'm gonna do a full arm climb for the best support for myself. And you can see if I'm not pointing. So they're not that bad. You can tell they're not sticking. And I have no grip on to show you true review of the heels. When you're inverting, when it comes to your knee pit, it is 50-50. So you'll have grip, but you can tell I'm rotating, and I will drop fast. As soon as it catches onto my skin, that's when I have better grip. But they are pretty. Unfortunately, these are cute, but they're not practical if you want to go up in the air. So now we move on to our next boot. When I say these are the worst to put on and off, yes, this is zipping. Where's the zip? Here. You have the zip, but you have to remove all the buckles first, which can be tedious because the buckles are not metal, which is good because you don't want this metal smashing down if you land on it, but they're a little bit lighter, so it's a little bit more finicky. And then you have to unhook the ball, and then I like to point my toe again and pull, just so I don't catch on anything. Taking off is way more smoother, but I always try when I take them off is to fold them where the lace is and kind of tuck it in so the lace doesn't move for where the last time I adjusted it. Do I do this every time? No, but I'm telling you, you should do this. So the next heel we're gonna go over are also 8 inches. These are more cloth material. Easy zip on the side, less difficult than the long boot. And then this is more like a shoelace lace. Those are really easy to put on. I like these for base work, and how you lace them up is they hook. So it's very easy to adjust it. It's kind of like skates or hockey shoes. If you ever put those on before. Same type of lacing technique. So it's very secure. The one thing on this is because it is metal, when you're climbing, you will feel that at times, which I will show you. And I like to wrap them around because the laces are really long, just because you don't want anything hanging out like that. So I'll put the other one on and I'll show you how they are for walking. So that was pretty quick to put on. Same thing, get up nicely. These are really easy. These ones are made the same as the thigh highs. I do recommend wearing 2 socks just because you'll feel a lot of pressure in your toes. That's just what I would recommend. But they're very light heels, and you'll really see the difference when I show you the other shoes. Like, very, very light. So it's very easy to walk in. So far, these are 5 out of 5. Where I did the thigh highs of 4 out of 5. Even though they were good, the knee was lower. This is like very easy. So, like I showed you, the metal here, you will feel it. You can hear that. So, I don't really recommend these climbing in studios because it might scratch. You have to pull a lot because this is pure cloth. The other ones had a little bit of grip. This has 0 grip, so I'll show you. And I'm keeping my toes pointed. These are the worst heels to climb in. So they're very nice. But if you do any footwork, you might slide very aggressively. So these ones stick to floor work, not good for climbing. Inverting's okay until you do any type of extended butterflies or footwork, you will slide. These are the next shoes I'm going to show you. I kind of really showed you the review on the thickness of the heel and the stickiness here. Now I'm going to show you putting them on. I was purposely putting them on wrong. The problem with these shoes is it's really hard to know what's left and right, but it's the zipper on the inside. For a second, I thought the zipper was on the outside, and I was like, why would they do that? But it's not that. And it's a very easy zip. I would make sure you hold it, zip up. As you can tell, like I was mentioning, there's not much like secure at the bottom. So I really don't like this for floor work. I like this for climbing. Inverting, these are very, very, very heavy heels. So I'm gonna show you how they are walking. Okay, get up on these ones a little bit more unstable. So I always like to bring them to the side, kind of go on my knees, and then go up because they don't have much back support. And these are the worst ones to walk in, I find. These are 1 out of 5 because, look at that. I can literally, my bottom of my foot is so not stable. You have to really push down on your toes, what I've learned when you're walking with these, because you really have to, you can't rely on your back of your heel at all. You can tell I'm walking more controlled, more chest up, because I'm really nervous about falling. And that's probably why, when I take these off, I have like an imprint of laces, because I'm literally forcing my foot to go like this. And these are really hard to point in. Even though I'm pointing right now, they're not as pointed as the other ones. It'd be more like this. It's just because of the design of the heel. But next, I'm going to show you the climb. These are very sticky. So the climbs are very more comfortable. They're not as, if you want to be like floaty, you can't really float because they're so sticky. And these are extremely heavy when it comes to inverting. It's very common to flex your foot in these. So again, put a lot of pressure on that toe, and then you're good to go. If you want to do feet work, these are perfect. Because it will hold you. But they are very pretty, and I think they're amazing for photos and for a lot of climbing. I wouldn't recommend for a spin. Okay, our next heel. For taking these off, you just zip it and take it out. A lot easier, zips on the inside. And that's it. Very easy to come off. Okay, these are my next heel. These are really cute. They're pink and white. They're white bottoms, which I get because it's pink and white, but the material of it, it's like very soft. You will definitely have to make sure you wash these a lot so they don't get stained. Because I wore these once, and you can already tell I already wore them. Thick bottoms, not as thick as the other ones, but not as, I think these are medium heavy. So the first two were really light. The last one was the heaviest. This is more medium. Same with the back of the heel as well. It's a medium, so it's very even. And with this one, it actually comes with a back. The only thing is, this is the only thing supporting your heel. So it's really not much. And as you can tell, it bends. So it is very snug on the back of your heel. So I always find that I can walk kind of different in these because I'm not so used to a shoe that's not a boot that has ankle support with such a heavy back. So putting them on is very simple, and this is what I'm talking about. So sometimes you'll have room. As you can see, I have room here, and then it's just the top. I always, when it comes to this style of heel, I like to tighten them up once I'm standing up, because it'll really tell you how tight you need to put them. You want them tight, but you can tell that the bottom is really loose and the top is very, very tight. I don't like walking these either, but I think they're more of a 3 out of 5. They're easier to walk in, but I wouldn't say they're as comfortable, just if you have a lot of space in the back like I do. And I will show you that in a second. Here it is. Very pretty. Feel the shoe coming off your foot because of how tight the little ankle support is. So I can like feel that space right there. But you're comfortable walking in. It's just you can really feel them coming off. So you don't want to do any fast base work with these, just because they are very, like, my heel could come out of these, as you can tell. Like, they're not the best. For climbing, same sticky material, so these are nice for climbing. And easier to put your shoe in just because it's not fully sticky like the other ones. Inverting is nice and neat just because it's equally heavy. They're very pretty. I need to wear these more. I just wish that the only support wasn't in this. Because you can tell already that I'm getting a line of where they were on my ankle. So these are easy to come off. You just push it through and take them off. So these shoes stick to your feet. The heel of these are made not as round, they actually have shape to it. The bottom is really heavy, really heavy, just because this glows. So there's actually a battery in here that you could charge, and these will light up, not glow, light up. Keep saying that. But yeah, so these are really heavy. I feel like these are really nice for floor work because it's a big heel, just because the shape of it, there's more surface. So you can tell these are new. I put them on and my feet was just like, which I'll show you. So I like these because it's black with the cushiness, so you won't see as much. I will see how long it lasts of having the pleaser printed on here. But when you put them on, your foot, you really have to maneuver your foot in. Mostly because one, I didn't break these in yet. And two, just because they're really plastic and it's such a wide band. So just put the heel on first and then just kind of grab it like this and push into my foot and slide them down. The problem with these is that you could feel the pressure of the plastic on here. I find that just because maybe I haven't broke them in, but if you do have to break them in to not feel that, there's gonna be some time where it's not comfortable. Same thing with these. I like to stand up when I put them on to tighten it, especially because this is like hard plastic. Put them in, put the backs in, then I'm gonna go around like this and set up, pushing them down into here. You can see that my feet are now going in more, and then I'm going to tighten it. So now my foot's down more. I'm gonna tighten these. And you can tell that the band around is way more supportive than the other one I showed you because it was just around the ankle. This one actually comes from the heel, goes around and connects to the other side of the heel. So the heel and the ankle move as one. So I really like these ones. Like you have to break them in. And people do find with these type of plastic wraps, they expand to a point where you can't tighten it no more and you have to probably buy replacements. I know that a lot of shops buy the ones that go around. So that's an easy fix. When it comes to the second statement is climbing, the top has grip, these don't have as much grip, just because these are light up heels. So I find the climbers more arm, like this, to climb. But they're very great. And because the whole foot's not covered, very easy to move down. My foot hurts in these. I do definitely invert these in more. Inverting, these are very nice invert because your foot goes with the heel, the whole ankle in the bottom. Grip on. This would be easier for me to demonstrate if I had grip on, but they're pretty nice. Well, come off. I bought these, so excited to wear them. They just hurt. I know people blow dry. See? Blow dry them on top to expand it. I might have to do that. But, now, our last pair. So these are my favorite heels. And you can tell as they are beaten up. These are my favorite heel to trade in. They are also 8 inches. All these are 8 inches. It has the material where it's sticky to climb, is not heavy. It has a support from the side, not just the ankle. And the band here is thick enough, but it's flexible. I think these are the perfect heel. These material and like an ankle style of these are really nice. These are so easy to put on. And I have been wearing these for, I say, 2 years and I haven't found a need to replace the top of it. I haven't felt a need to replace this yet. I've had them for 2 years, so these are my favorite. Easy to put on, easy to break in. These are very damaged, still love them. Easy to walk in, easy to climb in. These are top tier. You can tell, very broken into. They come as one, they're very lightweight. Walking in these are, I like them because I broke into them. You do have to work more on your toe, but it's not as much pressure as the other heel. Climbing is very easy when it comes to it, because it's a lot of grip, not a lot of control, and easy to slide down in. And these are my favorite heels to invert. They're just so pretty. I went with base work as well. These ones move nice with it, and they're very light, so you don't have to put a lot of work. These are my favorite to train in. I would say definitely get this version of sandal if you get any sandals in this video. Thank you for listening. I hope to buy more heels in the future.